Hey, Deneen, did you just get in here?
Yeah. Were we supposed to record it?
You know what? I don't know. I just pulled up the Google Hangout last tab I had open, so I don't know. Do you know how to stop recording this? Or is it recording? I don't know.
We're live. We're on Google Hangout plus the on air.
Do you want to do a new one that's not on air?
Yeah, I'm just not, as you can see, quite ready for a recorded version. Although maybe we need to record it and it'd be easier to turn in. What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to just?
We just need to tell her who was here and who participated as well. Okay. Hi, Jenny.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So,
Sorry.
Jenny, this is actually a live on-air one. I accidentally did that instead of just a regular hangout. Do you guys want to cancel this one and do a hangout, or do you just want to go ahead and do it?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. I don't care.
Okay. I don't think anyone's going to watch it, Deneen. I really don't.
No, I don't think so either. I'm actually thinking, because I'm reading, share your 3 introductions, give feedback, and then based on your feedback, personal thoughts, finalize your introduction, send a report to the instructor containing who attended and what was said, submit the instruction that you have chosen to your instructor for evaluation. Okay, so we just need to write a small summary. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, does anybody want to go first?
You guys can go ahead. I'm a little bit of a mix.
Okay. Well, mine, I don't have it totally polished. I've been working a little bit more on my presentation part than getting the actual script narrowed down. But just to give you some background, mine is about marketing. Well, it's not marketing. It's about web design. So having the importance of having an aesthetically pleasing website. Sorry, I am struggling with talking today. Okay. So I'll just give you the first couple paragraphs that I have as my intro. Okay. So I don't know. Do you know how to share slides?
On here?
Yes.
How do you do that?
I do know how to share slides. There's to the left. There's a little tab that says screen share.
Screen share. Green. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, except I don't have mine memorized.
I don't have any slides, though.
Because I have to read it. Okay, just forget the slides. Okay, here I go. Okay. Let's see. All right, so 94% of first impressions are design related. So that means that almost every single potential client who sees your web page is going to be judging your company's worth based on what they see right there, without even reading through your content, looking at your prices, or looking into your credentials and reviews. 75% of users admit to making judgments about a company's credibility based on their web design. If they see a poor quality web page, most will assume that your business isn't up to par, or they'll keep looking. Websites that are perceived as great looking are also perceived as usable and trustworthy. Think about the last time that you pulled up a shoddy looking website. What went through your mind? Did you immediately feel like the company represented did you immediately feel like the company that was represented was high quality and likely just what you were looking for? Or did you have some doubts about their credibility? And then I was going to go into some different basics of good web design. So that's my choppy intro.
I thought it was good. I think that you hit some important points about saying that. I know when I go onto a website that I immediately judge, like, okay, this is going to be easy to navigate by how it looks. Not necessarily by trial and error, because usually I'm not even, if it doesn't look like it's going to be easy, I'm not even going to try it.
Right.
So I think I like that you made that point, and I think that that's important. So.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Do you have a slide that shows what is your slide? Just out of curiosity, or your vision for the slide? Because I don't have any slides, but I have a vision. But
So for the first two slides, I was just going to have 94% really large, so that really stands out because I felt like that was a pretty big number of people that felt that way. And then the second slide was going to be the 75% because, again, I felt like that was a pretty big number.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was going to, like I said, I was going to break it down into some different aspects of good web design and go from there. But
this is my opinion, give or take. I would almost flip the have you ever been to a web page and put that first instead of the numbers, just because that would catch me and make me think, wait a second, yeah, I have been to those web pages. And it's more of a story than it is you know, you start off with the numbers and I'm already going, okay, is that a right statistic? Is that real? You know, and I'm, but whereas if you start with the story saying, have you ever been to a website and you've been totally confused, or have you ever been to a website and you've just passed by it because you didn't even want to bother with it, so crowded, or, you know, and just maybe start with kind of that story rather than the numbers.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you.
That would pull me in.
I like that idea. You could even pull up like a big website, like as your introductory slide, like Amazon, and say, when you go to Amazon, you know, give an example or something that might, you know, because everybody goes to Amazon, they know it's a good website, they know that they're going to find what they want there, but part of it is the look of it makes it look very easy and accessible. So maybe you can,
and I do later on, I have a lot of examples of good versus bad design, but that is a good idea to put something at the beginning to kind of show.
Well, because you specifically say that, like, have you ever been to, you know, so maybe you can do like I don't know.
I would actually save the good designs for later and start off with, have you ever been to a poor design, and just say, do you know where to go from here?
Yeah, does this look like a website that you would have confidence in? You know, like have an example.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
thank you.
That's a thought.
I like it. Thank you.
Hey. Sorry.
So with mine, I've been actually sick, so I'm not. Anyway.
I'm on a video.
I don't have anything written out, but to start mine off with, I'm doing one on similar to yours on how using social media will help my friend's business. So she does repurposing, and she does auctions, or she goes in and resell. What's it called? Repurpose estate services. So she'll go in and do estate sales and such. Sorry, I was doing a little bit. So what I was going to start off with is my introduction was, I was going to talk about Guy Kawasaki. He starts off how the internet is, and I was going to use Guy. I was going to use his name, so I'll give him credit for it. But he talks about how the internet and social media has two different sides to it. One, and you can relate it with you can relate it with the dating scene. So you have the eHarmony, where you have to fill out this elaborate thing to connect with them, and you'll find your soulmate with that. Or you have Tinder, where you just look at a picture and you're interested or not. And Guy Kawasaki talks about how most people do the Tinder. They are not going to take the time to do the eHarmony, but they'll go to Tinder and they'll click on the guy with the horse because that's cool, but and show interest. And that's the way most social media is. They'll either see a picture or see something that interests them, and they either click on it or they don't. It's not going in and they're not going in and researching and doing background and such. So with that, we want to make your social media as attractive and user friendly as possible. So that was one of my starts that I was going to go in with, Guy Kawasaki. My other part was I was going to start off with, I've noticed that on your Facebook social media that the last time you even posted was in 2014. So let's see what we can do to help you make that a more useful tool in your business. So that was my second kind of intro, is starting off, okay, we need help here. Let me show you how we can help you. Type start.
I like that because that makes it very personal.
Yeah, those are the only two that I have kind of in my head bouncing around.
I like that one where it's really personal, where you're talking directly to the client, because I think that way you're giving them something that they can use right off the bat and saying, what I'm trying to tell you is about you. I'm tailoring what I'm telling you to you. It's not just some generic talk that I'm giving.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? So
yeah.
I like that. I like that personal touch. I think that, your person, that could be valuable for them.
Hopefully she doesn't go in and update it before then.
Well, you can just have the disclaimer that last time you looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
So I'm really actually still in the outline form, and I was outlining 2 different starts. I didn't come up with 3. I was really struggling to find the 2 that I did. I thought that, I don't know how else to start it.
So you were deciding either to start with the Guy Kawasaki or the personal, like last time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think the personal one would be a better start, just because immediately you're saying this is about you, like Jenny was saying, this is, specific to you. So it kind of draws her in, and then lead into what Guy Kawasaki said. Because I think it's good. I would include it. I just don't know. I think the personal start is better.
Yeah, I agree. After I said both of them out loud, I liked my second one. Mm-hmm. It's funny how you have it on paper, and then when you say it out loud, it's definitely different.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing, and I think the thing that fits with this class, is the idea that you are, it's about your audience rather than about what you want. You're trying to give what the audience needs rather than the other way around. So I think that it meets that criteria, and I like that about what you were saying.
True.
Is it up inside your eyelid? Well, look around, see if it drops somewhere. Look on your shirt. Sorry, my son.
You're fine.
Look around. Look in the mirror. There, I even have a small mirror. Look to see if it's stuck in your eye somewhere.
Is he missing?
And also look on the floor. Yeah, he lost one. It fell out. It's on the floor. Rinse it off. Good.
Anyway, okay, so my group that I'm going to be presenting to is actually a school, and they're an LDS, like, fundamental-based school. So what I was going to talk to the director wanted me to talk about leadership. So I thought what I'd go with is that leadership with a small L, and bring that talk from President Clark kind of into my whole presentation. So I thought I would start with a quote from his talk, and gosh, I don't have it in front of me, but basically the quote that says, that a disciple leader is somebody who, oh gosh, it's totally floated out of my mind. Anyways, I'm going to start with that talk, and then he breaks it down into 3 different things. Like, one is like being an example. Anyways, and I'm going to focus on each of those 3 areas as the main body of my talk. But I'm just like really in the beginning. I've been struggling this week with. I had an extra kid in my house and lots of craziness going on, and so it's just I'm just behind. But I don't know. The other thing that I thought that maybe I could do, because I thought it was fairly successful in my last presentation, is start with a question, something like, who here knows what leadership with a small L means? Because it's not just, like, in my research I noticed that it's not just limited, like that idea isn't just limited to President Clark's talk. Like, there's lots of businesses that use the same idea because it's very service oriented, and it's very much about the organization. It's very much about serving each other and how to help each other do better within whatever organization you're in. So I didn't know if I should start with the question and ask if they knew what it already meant, or if I should just jump in and say, this is what President Clark says, and that's my two ideas. I find that I'm more like I'm better when the slides, like I come up with my own things to say with the slides. Like if I start writing stuff down, it gets too rehearsed and too practiced, and that kind of just goes down the drain.
Have you thought about maybe using a personal story that they could relate to as a beginning? Because I just think that quote, it's a good quote, but it's definitely not as catchy as like a personal story that somebody
yes,
could
and I
relate
think
to.
that's a great idea, and I've been trying to think about like what I could say, because obviously I'm not a teacher and I'm going to be addressing a group of teachers. So I wanted to do something like maybe like when a teacher when I was a child, like how they influenced me and how they were a leader with a small L just by being, of service. Or I don't know, do you guys have ideas of a story that might be, I don't know.
I think that's a good story to start with, is how a teacher influenced you, because that is what teachers do. I mean, they don't get paid well enough to really make any money, so it's more of the service that they give. And to hear, and every teacher that I know, when they have a child come back and say, hey, you were such an influence on me at this time, it's more rewarding for them than anything else that they've done. So I think that would be a catchy one, is to go with that.
Even, it just occurred to me, my son, he just graduated from high school this, in May, and he's been in special ed, and he's high functioning autistic, but he's been in the mainstream classroom, but he had one class where he was with the special ed teacher who was kind of like, what do they call it? Like he just helped keep him organized and stuff like that. He's been with the same teacher for 4 years. So my son's been trying to get a job, and he finally found one that he liked, and just needed to submit some references. So I emailed the teacher because I thought, oh, that'll be a good reference. This man has been working with him for like 4 years, and he knows what he's really like personality-wise and stuff. And he was so just like tickled that I contacted him and said, Alex is looking for a job and he'd really like to use you for a reference. And he just thought that was so great. And I thought that was special ed is a tough job, and these kids can be really tough. And I just thought, what an influence, good influence he's been on my son's life, and yet at the same time, even though their relationship is basically over, he's still willing to step up and do these things for a kid. And anyway, I don't know, maybe I could incorporate something like that somehow, and just say how, he's being of service, and that's what Heavenly Father. Anyway, I don't know. I don't want to concentrate too much on a religious aspect, despite the fact that they are a religious school. But I do think that it's important because it is kind of their.
Kind of what sets them apart a little bit.
Yes, exactly.
Well, and think about how much you appreciate the gospel aspect in the lessons that we receive.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I appreciate that too. So I wouldn't be too afraid to
bring
the gospel act to bring that into it. But.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you said that, because that's very true. I do really appreciate that, and I think that this school, it's brand new. Like, this is the first year that they're actually going to be like a school. They've been kind of like a homeschool, like supplement for people who homeschool their kids. Like, kids could go there.
Is this the Latter-day Learning? Is that what it's based off of?
Yeah, those are the textbooks, I think. But this is like their first year as like officially like a brick and mortar school where kids are going to go like every day.
Gotcha.
So anyway, it's a new concept, and I have a friend who's a teacher there, so that's kind of how I got hooked up with it. But I just, like I said, I want to do a business presentation, but I think that it's trying to have some gospel aspects, because what their business model is based around. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
I
good.
went. Yeah.
I'm
I definitely think that those stories, both of them, would draw me in a lot more than the quote would. I mean, it's a good quote. It's a good quote. I know what quote you're talking about, but the talk is a good base outline too to use. But I definitely would start with personal.
I didn't want to go too much into the talk except for like the 3 ideas that he gives. I don't want to reiterate. I don't want to repeat the talk. I just want to use kind of like the framework that he used with the 3 ideas, and then go from there about how teachers can use that in their class and use that with each other to help serve each other and to help serve the students that they're teaching and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway, and I like that. I'm going to think more about this story and think, see if the one that, like I said, about my son would be a good match, or even something like in my own experience. Because, I've had plenty of great teachers. And I'm sure that's something that's very relatable to people, too. Like, there are sometimes, especially people who go into teaching, it's more than likely that they've been influenced by a good teacher themselves. I'm sure if they had only really horrible teachers, that they probably wouldn't have chosen this for a career for themselves. So
then again, I mean, for me, I started to go into teaching before I moved over to marriage and family, because I didn't have a lot of good teachers, and I thought I could be a good teacher. So
interesting.
There are other ways, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's true. I guess that I can do a better job than this. Yeah, I've been very fortunate. I've had so many great teachers in my life, and so, and actually, that's not my end profession, but I know that at some point, I will be a teacher. I have to be a teacher, so to get to my ultimate profession. So, anyway, I don't know about you, but this is my last 3 weeks before graduation. I think that's why I'm just like at the end of my rope. I'm running out of steam really quickly.
Congratulations. I'm going to be there next summer, not this summer.
Yeah, me too. Next summer. I got a year.
It'll go fast. I remember when I started last fall, I just thought, man, I have so much time ahead of me, and now I'm here at the end, and it's the weirdest thing. I didn't think that it would be an issue, and maybe it's just because it's the summer and my kids are home and there's so many other things that I'd rather be doing, but gosh, it's just been hard.
What did you do for an intern?
I didn't have to do an internship. I'm doing university studies.
Oh, that's right. That's
so I
right.
didn't have to do one, so I was glad.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. What's your major, Megan?
Marriage and family.
Marriage and family as well, yeah. No,
Megan and I have been in several classes together.
We have.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, that's nice.
We'll probably continue that trend since we both have a year left.
I had so many random credits. When I initially went back to school in 2011, I already had 90 credits, and I went back. I was like, I thought I had finished my AA, but it turned out that I had a fine that I never paid, and so I officially graduated the first time. So then I had to go back, and then there were new classes that got required in the meantime.
Oh, so frustrating.
And then I lived here in Texas. I went to community college here locally. I lived here in Texas, so they required things like Texas government in order to graduate. So I ended up taking 24 credit hours additional before I even got to graduate with my associates. And then
this is my third school. I've had that game too.
I came into BYU Idaho, and I'm just like, I seriously have 110 credits already. What am I gonna do? And so I just tried to mix and match, where do I have credits and where can I fill things in. So anyway, I ended up with an English minor and then a cluster in psychology and a cluster in communications. So that's how I even ended up in this class. So yeah, I've kind of got my hands full. I'm doing a writing class right now too, and we're doing this huge 10 to 12 page research paper, and it's just a beast. I just don't even know how I'm going to get this.
Break it up into small pieces.
I know. It's the expectation of doing it in a certain style, I guess. They want it a very specific way, and it's just very confusing to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been writing forever, and I've gone through all. I mean, this is my very last English class. I've gone through, like 10 other English classes, and I'm totally stumped. Oh my
Megan,
goodness.
have you done the practicum yet?
No, I thought you had to do that at the end. Have you already done
As
yours?
long as you're a senior.
Oh, okay. Did you do
You
yours
can do it your
already?
senior. Yeah, I'm in it this year, and oh my heavens,
Is it hard?
it's a lot of work. It's
Uh,
definitely a 4-credit class, that's for sure.
Wonderful.
And I took it, full credit. There's 12 credits, so I.
Did you take the psychology class or not? Maybe I think it is a psychology that uses your stats stuff.
I
What is
did.
it called? Like you
I
did?
did.
I heard that was hard. Is it really hard?
It is really hard, and as a matter of fact, she told us that it's the hardest class in the psychology cluster. The teacher did, and I took it, and I'd only taken, like, that's just a cluster. It's not even like a minor or anything like that. And I took that one, and then systems of psychology, which is like a history of psychology class.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I took statistics in 2012, so I had like some time. But if you know how to do that SPSS, you do that.
You'll be okay.
Yes, because.
Oh, are you talking about the math for?
So Math 221C is the stats class, but there's a
Right,
psychology
that's the one I'm in
class.
right now.
Yeah, I think we might be in the same one, but
We are.
Yes, because you've read. So I guess there's a psychology class that uses the stats in it.
Yeah.
So it's called
Right, I haven't taken that. That's up next.
Research methods. Yes, I took that. I took it last semester.
Yeah,
and the
research
teacher is
methods.
really good. The good thing about it is you have to do this huge research proposal, but the class was revamped the semester that I took it, and she really does it step by step. So each week you work on a different part of the proposal.
Who did you have?
It's gosh, there's only one class if you're doing it online.
Oh, okay.
Only one teacher in one class, so she was really good. She has a doctorate in psychology, so.
Okay.
Anyway, they revamped the class, and it's really good because you do just break it up step by step, and you just do it one piece at a time. But it's a lot of work. I was going to say,
the teacher for my practicum class has a doctorate in marriage and family relations and psychology and something else, and this is her first year teaching online, and it was crazy. I wouldn't recommend her.
Who did you have?
Jenny Dilworth.
Jenny Dilworth. I'll remember that.
Yeah, this is not her first year teaching. She's been teaching I don't know about a long time. It was very, very organized, and she was very good. The biggest thing is she does not take late work at all, so you really have to stay on top and do everything as it comes out. So, but you know what? I found it doable. I mean, I was carrying 12 credits.
That's good, because I don't do math at all. I'm struggling.
Well, but you know what? It's not a lot of math.
Are you struggling with this statistic class? This is my lowest grade I have.
Yes, and I have an 89. But that is, I normally have A's in my classes.
Right, me too. I have an 80. I have a 90. I just went up to 90 with this last one, but yeah, I'm struggling with it too.
Yeah, I don't enjoy this class at all.
All that you use the math for at all is the SPSS, and you use that PSPP, like the free program, and all you use it is for the very last part of the research proposal. You do an analysis, so you just follow along in the workbook.
And that's all the math that you have to do?
Yep.
Okay, well I feel better about that, because I was worried that I was going to have to use it through the whole class, and I was thinking, I don't even understand it right now. There's no way I'm going to make
I don't either.
You have a text that they provide you, and every week you go through the exercises and you do it as best as you can in the PPSP, and you never submit it to the teacher. It just says, did you do the workbook? And you check yes if you did the workbook, and then you move on. And then at the very end, when you submit the proposal, you use it to do your analysis, and that's it. That's all you do. So,
and I can handle that. That's okay.
So there's really not a lot of math involved in it. I actually learned a lot in that class, and I really liked it. So I think as long as you're able to, do well, and you're usually a kind of person that meets deadlines and stuff, then it's not going to be an issue. So.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
I liked it. She was a good teacher, and she was very on top of things, and I really appreciated that.
Good.
I don't always like the ones that are like, I don't know what's going on here. So.
Well, anyway, I have a psychology exam that I have to take, so I need to get going.
Okay.
But it's good to talk with you guys. Thanks again, Jenny, because I do feel better about that class.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, it's a tough class, but like I said, step by step. And like I said, the teacher, she's really great about the layout's really good, and everything's really organized, and yeah. Anyway, not a lot of math.
Awesome.
Okay, it was good to chat with you guys.
You too. Have a good one.
Yeah,
talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye.